So today I'm going to be showing you how you can set up your own deep web service. Now, unfortunately, in media and broader knowledge, the deep web has a kind of nefarious reputation. It's associated with a lot of illegal content and, bad stuff, and there's no real way of getting around that. That is essentially what the majority of the stuff on the deep web is. But what most people don't realize is that it's just a tool like any other, in that it essentially just allows people to anonymously host websites and services that other people can take. And of course, you can do bad stuff with that, but you can also do a lot of good stuff. And today I'm going to show you how you could set up your own service. A while back, I remember I watched a TED talk about how that the vast majority of books that we have in English literature just aren't translated into Arabic. And this is the case for a lot of countries, in fact. So same with Mandarin and stuff like that. And what this means is that there's certain phrases and just ideas that just aren't really translatable into that language because it just doesn't exist in it. So, for example, it's kind of hard to explain to someone what the term Orwellian even means if 1984 has never been published in their language. And so for a quick example today, I'm going to host a deep web service that essentially just hosts a copy of 1984 in Mandarin. Now, I know for a fact that people in China are very easily able to access 1984. That's not a real comment about that. Widely available in China, but I just wanted to publish it as just kind of an example. And I just wanted to say on a side note, I'm actually on Odyssey right now. I'm just using this as an alternative to YouTube in case any of my videos get restricted or anything. So if you are on Odyssey, then you can follow me the same way you follow me on YouTube. Okay, so there are a couple of other tutorials on YouTube on how to set up a deep website, but a lot of them start using stuff like they use an actual web server like Nginx or Apache, and they just have the Tor service in the background pointing to a localhost server. But what most people don't realize is that OnionShare is a great tool that is normally just used for sharing files and stuff like that, but you can actually host a complete website on it as well. Now it's available on most major operating systems. I'm on Linux today, but if you're on Windows or Mac OS, then you can follow along as well. All you need to do is just go onto their website, link will be in the description, and just download the browser. So again, I'm on Linux, and unfortunately, there's no real package that I was able to download, so you can only really use Snap or Flatpak. I have some issues with Snap and Flatpak. I won't go into it here, but just some dependency issues can occur with it. But yeah, if you're on Linux as well, then just I presume you'll already have Snappack installed. If not, then again, you can set that up. Stop install OnionShare. And I'm not going to actually run it because I've already got it installed. But yeah, that's all it takes. So once you've got it installed, you'll see this. It'll just build Tor relay, and you'll see this in the graphical user interface. So again, OnionShare is normally used for sharing files anonymously over the deep web. But again, they have this new feature. Well, it's not really new. It's new to me anyway. It allows you to basically host a website. So if you think of a regular server, you'll normally have some HTML, some CSS, and JavaScript, and you'll have like another folder in the background that just allows you to access files or images or whatever. And that's the exact same thing for this. We're just going to be hosting it in the same way it would be on a regular server. The only difference is that it's going to be only available over the deep web. Now, another thing I want to point out is for deep web services, they normally don't use JavaScript because there's some security issues with it. If you enable JavaScript on a website, then essentially that website has a better chance of being able to fingerprint you and determine who you are. So because of that, you won't see many JavaScript sites available, and you shouldn't develop them either. So yeah, what I've done is I've put together a very basic HTML site. I know the CSS is stunning in it. So on Lowland is the Irish word for library, just fun fact. But yeah, all this site does is it has a copy of George Orwell's 1984 in Mandarin that people can read if they want to. And yeah, that's literally all it does, just a quick example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click start a website. I'm going to click the add button, and I'm going to go down into, so all of this is a HTML file, and this file just holds the PDFs that I have. So I'm just going to open both of these. There's a few options down here. So normally when you're hosting these sites, it'll ask you for a password to type in. This is just so not everyone has access to your site, but I don't want that. So I'm just going to click don't hold a password and start sharing. Now what it'll do is it'll give you an onion address, a .onion address, should I say. I should have specified this before, but you're going to need a Tor browser, because you need a Tor browser obviously to go into an Onion site. And I'm going to click here and it should be up. And boom, there you go. This is the website, the HTML file that I showed you before. And when I click on this, the file will come up. Now it's going to take about an hour or something for this PDF to download because unfortunately, the Tor relay isn't really renowned for having good, file transfer speeds. So yeah, I'm not going to even bother with that. But yeah, in under 2 minutes or however long it takes you to take the HTML web, you can have a deep website, and this will be accessible as long as you have the sharing option. I'm just going to close it down now, and that will be gone. Yeah, I really wanted to make this video because there's a lot of misconceptions about the deep web. Um, Unfortunately, some of them are true, but it is a tool just like any others. So if you were in a country that had an oppressive government that didn't allow people to share certain information online, this is the kind of thing that you would have to do in order to broadcast data to other people. I made a video recently about internet censorship and how certain countries just have really, really draconian laws placed on what people can and can't share online. So yeah, the best thing for people to do and the best thing for you to do who's watching this right now is to create your own sites. So I want to see if people have any ideas for good things you can do, educational purposes and stuff. And I want to see if you host your own site, just let me know and I'll look over them. Now, if you're watching this because you want to set up an actual service and not just, like a little play site like this, you're going to want to be hosting it on a dedicated server. So if you have a virtual private server, you can set it up there as well. Now, the only thing I will say is that a lot of these service providers, they're not going to be happy if you're hosting a Tor website on their servers. So I don't know, just make sure that whatever the server provider you're using is a little more accepting of that if you're going to host on a server. But yeah, that's basically it. If you have any issues or questions, feel free to reach out to me. And until then, I'll see you next time.